Residents and tourists on the state's south coast have been forced to flee their homes as 4 emergency bushfires burn. Bega showground's been transformed into a makeshift campsite for hundreds of displaced residents and travellers. That's where our reporter Trudy McIntosh joins us live now. Trudy, what are the conditions like there?
Well, Annalise, it's just after 2:30 p.m. here and the sky is absolutely orange. It's been really eerie conditions driving in today into Bega. There has been fires right up and down the New South Wales south coast from around Nowra in the north all the way down to the Victorian border. And we heard the RFS Commissioner a few hours ago outlining that at least 3 people are feared unaccounted for at the moment. 2 of those at Cobargo and a third one at the town of Balaura, which is in the mountains just west of Batemans Bay. They've all been feared missing. Here's what he had to say.
We are getting preliminary reports that there are 3 people unaccounted for, and the potential for 3 potential fatalities as a result of these fires down the south coast. 2 people potentially in Cobargo, and another one out at Balaura.
Trudy, there's absolutely extraordinary scenes where you are. How are people coping?
Well, certainly plenty of people have been displaced their holidays. We spoke to one of the ladies who was down here from Queensland. She's been helping just deal with the number of people who have been forced to evacuate, many of them residents here on the south coast, but also, as you'll be aware, it's New Year's Eve. So many people just trying to enjoy a nice holiday down here on the coast, but they've been faced with just such horrendous conditions today. It's certainly not the worst of this is not expected to be over. There is a cool change that they are warning, a southerly change, I should say, coming through from the south at the moment. There's almost no wind here in Bega, so the fires will be staying stationary where they are. But I'll just take you through a few of them, Annalise, in terms of the fires that we do know at the moment. The RFS warning about the Currowan fire, which is in the Shoalhaven area. That is that massive mega blaze that was burning near the Kings Highway near Batemans Bay. It's subsequently joined up to an additional fire further to the north. That's caused a lot of issues today in Batemans Bay, such a popular area at this time of year, with many people forced to bunker down where they are, or if they can, they were told to get out to evacuation centres just like this one. There were warnings that areas north of Ulladulla and south of Nowra that it was too late to leave. That was 30 minutes ago. So certainly, Annalise, right up and down this coast, the worst of this may not be over for many people. Many people forced to camp out the night here on New Year's Eve. It's certainly going to be a tough time ahead.
It will indeed. Trudy, thanks for the update. We'll check in with you again soon. Now, joining us on the line is Jacqueline Moy from Batemans Bay. Jacqueline, you were evacuated to the beach a little earlier. You're back home now. Talk us through what's happened this morning.
Oh, hi. I live north of Batemans Bay, just this side of the bridge, and I do a bit of photography, and I was taking some photos, and I could see this huge plume of smoke. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And where I was situated at, I was about a 30-second drive, and by the time I left there and came into my driveway at home, it had gone pitch black, and it was a very frightening experience. I proceeded then to leave my house. I'm only about 300 metres from the beach, so I went down to the beach, and there were the people down there, people with horses. I think everyone was feeling the same. It was, I've never seen anything quite this bad in my life, and it came so quickly. Batemans Bay was engulfed from Runniford Road. It jumped the Princess Highway there and went into the town. It went through Catalina, I believe. Quite a few houses were burnt down there. I can't see over the river at the moment because Batemans Bay is still just covered in smoke. And it's still, I don't think we're out of the woods, to be quite honest. I know a southerly came through and it cooled things down considerably, but I still think we're not out of the woods. It still feels really weird. It could fire up again at any stage. So that's what's happening here at the moment. A lot of people were told to leave Batemans Bay yesterday and the day before. A lot of people didn't leave, and unfortunately the highway got closed both ends. People were leaving the bay this morning, heading up to Ulladulla, but the highway was closed up there, so they had to turn around and come back. So we're sort of stranded here in town at the moment, but I don't think there's anything active in the way of fire. However, like I said before, I think there's a high possibility that it could flare up again at any stage.
Jacqueline, we're seeing a lot of videos come through of just the smoke around Bateman's Bay, the fire efforts there, the helicopter pulling water out of the ocean. Is the smoke quite oppressive? Is it quite hot? What does it feel like?
Well, it's not as hot as what it was earlier. It was about 44 degrees a couple of hours ago. It was extremely hot. I got up this morning about 4:15 because everything just felt weird. I was inside the house. I woke and I came outside and it probably would have been 33 degrees. It was extremely hot. Then it continued to get hotter. We did have a southerly come through. It cooled, like I said, it cooled things down considerably. However, it feels like it's warming up again even now, even though there's a bit of a breeze. It's just so unpredictable.
And are you pretty happy with the support you've been getting from emergency services, keeping you updated about what's happening?
Yeah, well, I found that ABC radio was really good. They seem to be more up to date with everything rather than the local 2EC radio station. So I just switched on to there and I was listening through that. But there's lots of support and everyone pulls together in situations like this. So at the moment, there's still a lot of ash and everything flying through the air. And it's still extremely smoky and no lives lost, I don't think. I have no idea. I do know that some friends of mine that have a property between Maria and Bateman's Bay, there's been quite a few properties lost out there.
We'll keep
it came through Runniford Road, from Bolero, Runniford Road, and it jumped the highway into Bateman's Bay. So,
scary
quite
stuff.
considerable.
We're expecting an update from the emergency services again soon, so we'll have that live, and we're hoping to get a better idea of just how much damage has happened. But Jacqueline Moy, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us on what's been a very scary day, and we'll check in with you again later if that's all right, if it's still safe.
Yeah, no worries.